everyone, welcome to Cosmic Kids. I'm Jamie and this is your place for yoga, stories and fun. It's easy, just copy the moves I do and enjoy the adventure. Now we always start in the same way, and that's by sitting on our bottoms, crossing our legs and bringing our hands together at our hearts and saying our secret yoga code word, which is Namaste. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. There. Now we're ready to begin. And today we've got a special story that you might already know. It's Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. Lots of funny things happen in this story, but we get to go to Wonderland. So let's get started. Coming up to stand. Ooh, something funny's happening. Oh, what's happening? Oh, everything's gone really big. I'm really small. Goodness me, this is very strange indeed. Oh, something else funny is happening. Oh, I seem to have gone really big. I'm enormous now. And look, I'm going to have a look. Can you see me? Oh, this is no good for yoga, is it? Everything's gone really tiny. Oh dear. Oh, hang on a minute. Oh. Ah, there we go. Back to normal again. Phew. Now we can get started with the yoga. What? What's funny? I'm what? No. Oh. Okay, maybe this isn't going to work. Phew. Now I'm back to normal again. Now we can get started with the yoga. Our story begins on a warm summer's day with the sun in the sky. So we reach up to the sun and we say, "Hello, sun." We find Alice lying on the riverbank with her sister, coming down to lie on your backs, arms out wide and lift your legs up. Alice is feeling so very bored. Her legs go over to one side as her head twists to the other, and over to the other side as her head twists to the other. Oh, it's so lazy and hazy on this hot summer's day. Alice begins to have a daydream. All of a sudden, a white rabbit comes hopping by. Coming up to sit on your hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, tuck your toes and lift your bottom. And then do a hop in the air. 1, 2, 3, hoppity hoppity hop. And again, 1, 2, 3, hoppity hoppity hop. The rabbit stops up on his hind legs, balancing on your tiptoes. He looks a bit worried. He twists from side to side, looking for something in his waistcoat pocket. He finds it, a pocket watch. He looks at the time and he tuts. Oh dear, I shall be late. I'm late for a very important date. And he hops off. Turning to the side, spread your fingers, lift your bottom and hop. 1, 2, 3, hoppity hoppity hop. And again, 1, 2, 3, hoppity hoppity hop. Alice jumps to her feet and she runs after the rabbit, running as fast as she can, chasing him. But he dives head first down into a rabbit hole. Turning to the side, reach your arms up and fold all the way forwards. Alice gets onto her tummy, coming down onto your bellies, hands under your shoulders and wriggle your shoulders up. She wriggles in to the rabbit hole after the white rabbit, without a thought of how she'll get out. But oh dear, this was no little rabbit hole. This was a very big rabbit hole. Tuck your toes and lift your bottom up to the sky. Alice begins falling down. Her legs lift up, one at a time behind her. Help! Taking that foot down and lifting the other. Help! Coming to sit on your bottoms, everyone, with your legs crossed. The fall was lasting so long that Alice could sit with her legs crossed. and she could twist and have a look from side to side, twisting to one side to see, bookcases and cupboards. Ooh, and she twists to the other side to see a jar of orange marmalade. Finally, she lands at the bottom of the rabbit hole with a bump, twisting from side to side. Bump, 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 bump. Phew. There's no sign of the white rabbit, but there are lots and lots of doors. Coming into door pose. Coming to 2 knees. Take your leg to the side. Take your arm up to the sky and try and open a door. It's locked. Come to 2 knees again and try another door. Leg to the side, arm to the sky, and come to the other side. That one's locked as well. Oh dear. Then Alice spots a table. Coming into table pose. Sitting on your bottoms, feet flat, knees bent, hands behind you, and lift up your bottom, coming up into table pose. On the table, there's a key. Yes, but it will only open the tiniest door. Coming onto all fours, Alice takes the key and she reaches it in to the tiniest door. It opens with a click. Yes, but to see what's on the other side, Alice has to lay flat on her tummy, coming to lie all the way down with your arms down by your side. How she'd love to go through, because on the other side is the loveliest garden. Alice sits up and she gives her knees a hug, thinking, how am I going to get through there? And then she spots something else on the table. It's a little bottle with a label saying, "Drink me." Alice stands up. She puts her hands on her hips and she folds halfway forwards. She takes the little bottle. She brings it to her nose and she smells. She has a little sip. And then she drinks the whole lot. Something funny begins to happen. Alice begins to shrink. Jump your feet and arms wide and take yourself from being a giant star to being a tiny little mouse on your knees, tucking yourself up into a tiny little mouse shape. Yes, Alice thinks now she'll be small enough to fit through the door, but oh no, the door's closed and the key's back on the table. So Alice comes all the way up. She stands high on her tippy toes, reaching her arms up to try and get the key from the table, but it's just too high. Then she spots something else, a tiny little glass box. Coming to sit on your bottoms, joining the soles of your feet together, holding onto your toes, and bring your head down towards your feet, closing your little glass box. She opens it up, lifting your head, and inside is the tiniest little cake. And written in currants on the top are the letters E, A, T, M, E. Eat me. Alice reaches in. She gets the little cake and brings it close. She spreads her legs wide and then leans forward to gobble it all up. Delicious. But something funny begins to happen again. Alice begins to grow really, really big. Coming onto your knees, everyone, starting in mouse pose, all the way forwards. Let's grow slowly, coming all the way up with your arms in front, all the way up and over your head. She grows past her normal size until she's on her hands and knees, feeling very squashed. And then she lies down on her shoulder, feeling even more squashed. Oh no, now I'm too big. She starts to cry. All of a sudden, the white rabbit comes hopping past again. Coming into your rabbit hopping pose. Spread your fingers, tuck your toes, lift your bottom and hop. 1, 2, 3, hoppity hoppity hop. And again, 1, 2, 3, hoppity hoppity hop. He drops his fan Alice sits up, feeling hot and bothered, and she takes the fan and she cools herself down with it. Crisscross your fingers, put them under your chin. Take a big breath all the way in and lift up your elbows. Ready? And breathe out to the sky. And again, breathing in, lift your elbows. And breathe out to the sky. Magically, as she does this, she begins to shrink again. But oh dear, because of her crying, she's shrinking into a pool of her own salty tears. She has to swim. Coming onto your knees, everyone. Bring your hands into the centre and breathe in as you lift your arms. Ready? And breathe out as you lower down. Breathing in. And breathing out. It's a lake, and she's not alone in this lake. There's a little mouse in it with her. Coming into mouse pose, turning to the side on your knees, folding yourself all the way forwards. The mouse says, "I'm a little bit frightened, so I'm swimming to the shore." There's also a duck in the water with her. Coming into duck pose, high up onto your tippy toes, bending your knees, trying not to wobble. Bring your hands onto your hips, roll your shoulders back and take your elbows back behind you. Ooh, the duck goes quack, 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 quack. There's also an eaglet in the water, which is a baby eagle. Coming up to stand, cross one leg over the other, your arms wide, scissor your arms and wave with your underneath arm. Now twizzle them round and sit yourself down like a baby eagle. Ah, ah. There's also a lorry bird, which is a bit like a Tweety bird, only it's got a brush on the end of its tongue. Coming down onto two knees, wrap your arms around yourself, and as you open up your beak, go and close. Let's try that on the other side. Arms wide, wrap them the other way, open your beak and close. Well done, everyone. Alice thinks what a curious bunch of creatures they are. They all swim on their tummies to the shore, coming down to lie on your bellies and swim using your arms and your feet. They swim right to the shore and then they come up to stand and think, how shall we dry off? I know, let's have a race, a caucus race. It's simple. All you do is run around and around in a circle. And they're off. Here we go, everyone. Running around and around and around. Goodness me. The race lasts for about half an hour until the dodo suddenly stops. Coming into dodo pose, down onto your knees, hands on your hips like little wings, and take your elbows back behind you. He looks up and he says, "The race is over. Everybody has won and all shall have prizes." Then they all sit back on their heels and look to Alice, waiting for their prize. Alice stands up. And then she remembers. She has a box of currants in her pocket. She folds halfway forwards and she gives a currant to each of the little animals. One for you, one for you, one for you, one for you, one for you. Oh, all these cute little animals. It reminds Alice of her pet cat, Dinah, coming into cat pose on all fours. Alice's cat, Dinah, she's lovely. She tells them all about how sharp Dinah's claws are, like a tiger, reaching out one leg behind you and reaching out one claw, and make your claws really sharp. Rawr. And the other way, bring your hand and foot down and stretch out the other side. Rawr. But hearing about Dinah isn't very good for the little mouse, coming into mouse pose, all the way down with your arms down by your side. And she squeaks off, squeak, 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 squeak. Coming up to sit. The birds flutter away too. They don't like the sound of Dinah. Coming into bird pose, standing up, feet together, folding halfway forward and your arms down. Then reach, lifting and lowering your wings. Wow. Wonderful birds, everyone. And a crab diggers over to Alice, coming into crab pose, sitting on your bottoms, knees bent, feet flat, hands behind you, fingers pointing towards your bottom. Lift your bottom up and digger that way over to Alice. Here we go. Digger. He says to Alice, stop going on about Dinah. And then he diggers off. Digger. Alice sits all alone again. She has a little look around, using her cosminoculars, thumbs and fingers together. Have a look through. I spy a giant mushroom. And on that mushroom is a big blue caterpillar, lounging lazily, puffing on a pipe. Coming into caterpillar pose, lying on your bellies, everyone, hands under your shoulders, and wiggle all the way up, puffing on his pipe. He says, who are you? Alice doesn't know who she is. All this growing big into giant Alice and tiny into little tiny Alice. She's got no idea. He begins to wiggle off. And he says, why don't you eat the mushroom? One side will make you shorter, the other side will make you taller. Good luck. Alice jumps to her feet, coming all the way up. Feet together, everyone. Bring your arms up above your head. She reaches one way to get one side of the mushroom and the other way to get the other side. Now she can adjust her size as she needs to. Up ahead, she sees a tree, coming into tree pose. Bring one foot on top of the other, your hands together at your heart. Grow your tree up nice and tall. And, I wonder how strong the trees are here in Wonderland. You stay tall and strong. I'll have a go at blowing you down. Here I come. Doopy-doopity-doo. Oh my goodness, they are super strong here in Wonderland. Let's try it on the other side. Bring the other foot on top now, your hands together, and grow your tree up nice and tall. Oh, can you open those branches? Very good. Now Alice can see something in the tree. There's a big cat sitting in the tree, coming into cat pose on your hands and knees. This cat has got the most ginormous grin on its face. Ding! And it says, as it moves its eyes one way without moving its head, that way for the March Hare. And then it moves its eyes to the other side. And that way for the Hatter. And then it disappears in a puff of smoke, walking your hands back to come up onto your tiptoes and do a big jump in the air. 1, 2, 3, woo! But it leaves behind its grin. Ding! Alice stands in confusion. Well, I have often seen a cat without a grin, but never a grin without a cat. She decides to head to the house of the March Hare. Jump your feet wide, hands above your head, coming into house pose. At the house of the March Hare, in the garden, is a large table set for a mad tea party. Coming into table pose, sitting on your bottoms, knees bent, feet flat, hands behind you, and lift your bottom up. Sat at this table is the March Hare. Coming into hare pose. On your knees, crisscross your fingers behind your back and stretch your arms out behind you. Then fold your head all the way forwards, lifting your arms like 2 long hare ears. There's also another guest at this table, sitting all the way up again. It's the Hatter. Turning to the front, take your feet out behind you and see if you can just sit between your ankles. Now, if that's a bit ouchy on your knees or your ankles, sit up on your heels again. Yeah. Now, crisscross your fingers, turn them inside out, and lift up your arms above your head, making yourself a very wonderful top hat. And sat in between the Hatter and the Hare is a little dormouse. Coming into mouse pose, turning to the side on your knees, folding all the way forwards. The little mouse has got its cheek on the table and it's snoring loudly because it's asleep. Alice decides to join them for tea and sits at a chair. Coming up to chair pose, standing up, feet a little bit wider, bend your knees. Now lift your arms up to the sky, coming into your chair pose. But Alice doesn't stay long because no one is making any sense whatsoever. They ask questions like, "Why is a raven like a writing desk?" Alice stands up and runs off, saying, "This is the stupidest tea party ever." And she runs right into a garden where the Queen of Hearts sweeps in. Sitting on your bottoms, take your legs out long, and then take your legs round one side. Bring one hand onto your knee, your other hand behind you, and look over your shoulder. The Queen has got her guards with her, who are all playing cards. Let's be the two of diamonds. Coming up to stand, bring your feet together and turn your toes out, bringing your heels together, and bend your knees. Now bring your arms above your head, joining your fingers above your head to make the two of diamonds. Well done, everyone. The Queen sweeps in a little bit further to the garden, sitting down on your bottom again, legs out long. This time, take your legs round the other way. Sit up tall, bring your hand on your knee, your other hand behind you. Look over your shoulder and look back to the front. She spots Alice and she's not pleased. She says, "Off with her head." Alice stands up and she puts her hands on her hips, feeling as powerful as she can. And she says, "Nonsense." The Queen's eyes grow large as she glares at Alice silently. She says, "Do you play croquet?" Alice replies, "Yes." And it begins, the strangest game of croquet ever. The balls are hedgehogs, coming into hedgehog pose, down on your knees, folding all the way forwards. Now take your hands up behind you on your back and make them spiky, like you've got prickles on the back of your back, like a hedgehog. And coming up to sit, the mallets are pink flamingos, coming into flamingo pose. Up to stand, bring your hand all the way up and make it a little beak. Then see if you can hold your foot. Oh, try not to wobble and hop like a flamingo. Ooh, yes, very good, everyone, very good. And try flamingo on the other side. Bring your foot down, reach your other arm up, make your beak with your hand and hold your foot. Get your balance, try not to wobble and do a little hop. Ooh, yes, flamingos we are, indeed. And bring it all the way down. And the hoops are made of playing cards balanced together in a triangle shape, like our dog pose, coming into dog. On your hands and knees, spread your fingers, tuck your toes, and lift your bottom up to the sky, making your hoop shape. Very good, everyone. It was the strangest game of croquet ever. Coming to sit in the middle. After that, the Queen takes Alice to meet her griffin, who has got the head of an eagle, arms wide. Swizzle your arms, wave with your underneath arm and twizzle them round. Ah, ah. Unravel your arms and bring them back. It's got the body of a lion. Let's do a lion pose with a big roar. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Roar! Alice gets onto the back of the griffin and they fly together. Coming up to stand, your feet together, fold halfway forwards and bring your arms down. The griffin spreads its wings and off they go to visit his friend, the mock turtle. Coming down to sit in turtle pose. Take your feet out, keep your knees bent and put your hands in the middle. Now slide your hands under your feet, under your legs and make 2 turtle flippers. And what a sad turtle he is. He says, "Let me tell you a sad, sad story." But before he can continue, the griffin interrupts him and changes the subject. Coming into your griffin head, cross your legs, arms wide. Now scissor your arms the other way and lift up your underneath arm, twizzle them round. He says, "Why don't we teach Alice the lobster dance instead?" Alice thinks this is a wonderful idea. How much fun will that be? And they all take their positions in lobster pose. Coming up to stand, take your feet wide and turn your toes out a little bit. Now bend your knees, nice strong legs, that's it. Take your arms up and make yourself 2 little lobster claws. They join in with a little song and a dance. Will you, won't you, will you, won't you, won't you join the dance? Will you, won't you, won't you, won't you, will you join the dance? After that, there's a loud trumpet fanfare sound, like an elephant. Stretch your legs out long and bring your hand behind you like a little elephant's tail. Then lift up your other arm, making a trunk, and do a big trumpet sound. And again. Coming up to stand. It's the Queen's fanfare. She's calling everyone back to court for a trial. Someone has stolen the Queen's tarts. Jump your feet together and fold forwards. The Griffin and Alice fly back, lifting and lowering your wings. Yes, Alice arrives back and takes her seat in the court. Standing up tall, cross your legs and sit yourself down. Whoop! There we go. Now, Alice watches very carefully, using her cosmonoculars, thumbs and fingers together. Have a look through. She's trying to make sense of it all, but it's really hard. She switches on her listening ears, rubbing them from the bottoms to the tops. What she's hearing doesn't make any sense either. She can't bear it any longer, so she stands up and she puts her hands on her hips and she says, "What does this matter? You're just a pack of cards." And at that, all of the cards begin flying around her madly. Jump your feet wide, jump your arms wide, and start to spin. They fly around and around in a whirlwind, and they're scattering everywhere. Alice doesn't know what to do, and she huddles herself down into a tiny little mouse pose. Tuck yourself up into a tiny little huddly ball, everyone. She keeps very, very still. After a while, Alice wiggles her fingers and toes, and she feels something pitter-pattering on her back. Take your hands onto your back. Pitter-patter. She comes up to sit, to find that she's sat by the riverbank, and her sister is brushing leaves off of her. She says, "Wake up, Alice. It's time for tea." Alice stretches her arms up and says, "I'll be there in a minute." And she takes a moment to lie down, all the way on her back with her arms down by her sides. She closes her eyes and she thinks about the amazing dream she's just had. What an adventure. How amazing her mind and imagination are. It makes us think about our dreams too. How wonderful our imagination can be. The stories we think of. The places we can go in our head. Places like Wonderland, where all sorts of funny and strange things happen. How magical it can be. How special it is that we can go to these places and have all sorts of fun. Just like Alice, we slowly begin to wake up, wiggling our fingers, our toes, and bringing our knees into our chest to give them a little hug. We roll over onto our side and we come up to sit, opening our eyes with our legs crossed. We bring our hands together at our hearts and we finish just the way we started, with our secret yoga code word, which is namaste. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. There. Well done, everyone. That was amazing. Thank you for coming on the Alice adventure with me. You were fantastic. I hope you come back soon for another Cosmic Kids adventure. Bye-bye. everyone, welcome to Cosmic Kids. I'm Jamie and this is your place for yoga, stories and fun. It's easy. All you do is copy the moves I do and enjoy the adventure. Now we always start in the same way, and that's by sitting on our bottoms, crossing our legs and bringing our hands together at our hearts and saying our secret yoga code word, which is Namaste. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. There. Now, as you can see, I'm in a rather spooky, mysterious place. I'm wearing a black outfit and some round glasses because today we're doing a special story based on J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Let's get started. We meet Harry, aged 10, living in a house. Coming up to stand, take your feet wide, arms out and above your head. House pose. Harry lives at number 4 Privet Drive with his Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia and his horrid bullying cousin Dudley Dursley. Now, Harry always tries to keep as quiet as a mouse. Coming down to your knees, everybody, and tuck yourself up into a tiny little mouse pose. He stays in his tiny little bedroom, which is in fact the cupboard under the stairs. Coming up to sit. Now, on Harry's 11th birthday, the moon is in the sky. Coming up to stand, join your feet together and your hands together above your head and take yourself over to one side, making a moon pose. And over to the other way, making another moon pose, or a banana, when the clock strikes midnight, pointing all the way up to 12. Dong! All of a sudden, a giant called Hagrid clomps in through the door. Jump your feet wide, folding forwards, take hold of your ankles and clomp, 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 clomp. He straightens up as he tells Harry, "You are a wizard." A wizard? Turning one foot to the side, one foot back and bend your knee. Stretch your arms out wide and lift your arm up to the sky, coming into a wizard pose. "I'm not a wizard," says Harry. Taking your arms down again, straighten your leg and turn to the other side, bending your knee, coming into a wizard pose on the other side. "I'm just Harry." Hagrid stands up and says, "No, and you've been accepted into the Hogwarts School of Wizarding and Witchcraft." Arms wide, hands above your head, coming into school pose. Now, before Harry starts school, he needs to go shopping to get some stuff. Things like a uniform and a pencil case. Oh, and a wand. Hagrid takes Harry on his magic flying motorcycle. Taking yourself halfway forwards, take your handlebars. Here we go. They come to a stop at Diagon Alley, which is a secret, hidden, magic shopping street in the middle of London. This is where all the witches and wizards buy their things. Coming to stand at the side, Harry has to take big steps to keep up with Hagrid. Big step. Now Hagrid tells Harry that he's in fact famous amongst wizards and witches, known as the boy who lived. Step all the way back and all the way forwards on the other leg. Big step. That's because Lord Voldemort killed Harry's parents when he was a baby, but couldn't kill Harry for some strange magical reason. Step all the way back and step forward on the other leg. Big step. And Harry is in fact rather rich because his parents left him lots of money on deposit at the Gringotts Wizarding Bank, which is where they are now for Harry to withdraw some money. Coming up to stand. Gringotts Wizarding Bank is run by goblins. Squatting all the way down. These are rather little menacing-looking fellows with long pointy noses and long pointy ears and long fingernails and sharp nails. Ooh! The goblins show Harry to his vault, which is a bit like a ginormous treasure chest. Sitting on your bottom, join the soles of your feet together, holding onto your toes, and take your head down towards your feet.
They open up the vault with a golden key.
Inside is lots and lots of money, loads of gold coins, plenty for Harry to buy the things he needs for school. They also go to another vault where Hagrid takes out a stone-shaped parcel and says, "Official Hogwarts business, Harry. Pay no attention to this." Funny, Harry thinks. But now he can go buy his things, so he heads to the wand shop. Coming up onto your knees, take your foot out to the side and your hand up to the sky. Now open up the wand shop door. And come back to 2 knees again. Take your other leg to the other side, your hand up to the sky, and close the wand shop door. Inside, Harry gets to try all of the wands. He gets into his wand pose, taking 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Take your arm out and swish over here, and jump your feet the other way, and swish over there. But the wand that suits Harry best is in fact the twin of Lord Voldemort's. It contains a feather from the same phoenix. A phoenix is a magical bird with a plume of fiery red feathers. Coming up to stand and face the side. Take your arm up to the sky and your hand to the side. Now see if you can catch your foot in your hand, showing off your very special phoenix. Now let's see if we can kick our foot into our hand, coming into our dancer pose to show off our fiery red plume. Well done, everyone! And coming up to stand. Let's try that on the other side. Turning to the other side now, reach your arm to the sky, your hand to the side, and see if you can catch your foot. Now, kick your foot into your hand, coming into your beautiful fiery phoenix dancer pose. Yay! Well done, everyone. Coming up to stand. Now, Hagrid very kindly buys Harry a present for his 11th birthday. A beautiful, pure white, snowy owl called Hedwig. Come down to your knees, take your hands down in between, and we go twit, two. And again, twit, two. Very good, everyone. It's the first day of school, and Harry arrives at King's Cross railway station to catch the Hogwarts Express from platform 9 3/4. Harry puts his hands on his hips and looks over one shoulder. Where could platform 9 3/4 be as he looks over the other shoulder? And the first and the second? He has no idea where platform 9 3/4 is. Then he spies through his little round glasses, joining your thumbs and fingers together. Have a look through. The Weasley family, and they're obviously going to the same train as he is. He asks them to show him the way, and they tell him he has to jump through a magical wall, crouching all the way down onto your tippy toes. After 3, let's do a big jump through the magic wall. Ready? 1, 2, 3, whoosh! Wow, Harry made it. On the other side is the Hogwarts Express, the train. Jump your feet together, let's go. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, here we go around the track. Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, here we go around the track. On the train, Harry makes friends with Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger. They soon arrive at Hogwarts. Toot, toot. All of the children are taken to the Great Hall at Hogwarts School, where the long tables are set. Sitting down on your bottom, feet flat, knees bent, hands behind you. Lift up your bottom, making yourself into a big, long table. Everyone takes a seat in a chair. Coming up to stand. Lift your arms up to the sky and bend your knees, sitting down in your chair pose. Harry, Ron, Hermione and the rest of the first years need to be told which house they are in before they can eat. So they need to try on the sorting hat. Jump your feet wide, hands above your head, making a nice pointy sorting hat shape. Now, there are 4 houses at Hogwarts School. There's Gryffindor, the lion, coming down to your knees. After 3, lion pose. Ready? 1, 2, 3. There's Hufflepuff, which has the symbol of a badger. Take your hands forward, tuck your toes, and walk your hands back so that you're crouching and balancing like a little badger with pointy paws and a pointy nose. Hufflepuff. There's also Slytherin, which has the symbol of a snake. Yes, well done, everyone. Come down onto your bellies, hands underneath your shoulders, and wiggle, 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 like a Slytherin snake. And lastly, there's Ravenclaw, which has the symbol of an eagle, coming into eagle pose. Up we come to stand. Cross one leg over the other and bend your knees. Arms out wide. Swizzle those arms so one's under the other, and wave with your underneath arm. Twizzle them round to hold your palms and sit yourself down like an eagle. Ah, ah! Now I'd like to know which house you're in. Let's play a game. I'll twinkle my fingers like this, like I'm wearing the sorting hat, and I'll say a special rhyme. And then I'd like you to show me which house you're in by doing the yoga pose. Will you be in Gryffindor with the lion? Will you be in Hufflepuff with the badger? Will you be in Slytherin with the snake? Or will you be in Ravenclaw with the eagle? Let's see. Ready, everyone? Sorting hat, which house are you? Wow, I can see all sorts of houses. Some of you are in Gryffindor, lion pose, yes. Some of you are in Ravenclaw. I can see you're doing eagle, well done. Some of you are in snake. Look, you're doing snake, that means you're in Slytherin. Ooh. And some of you are in Hufflepuff with your very clever badgers. Well done, everyone. Now, coming up to stand, twinkle your fingers on your head as Harry, Ron and Hermione wait to be told what house they're in. And it is Gryffindor, lion pose, coming down to your knees. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Very good, everyone. Now, at Hogwarts, they have some rather funny lessons. They have potions with Professor Severus Snape coming onto your tummies to make a cauldron. Here we go, onto your bellies. Take your feet towards your bottom. See if you can grab one ankle and another ankle, and then breathe in as you lift up into a cauldron shape. Well done, everybody. Now, coming all the way up again to sit with your feet nice and wide, because into that cauldron they have to mix lots and lots of bubbly potions. Take hold of one of your stirring sticks and we go bubble, 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 potion. And the other way, let's take the other stick now. Bubble, 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 potion. Take your leg to the other side. In the sports field, they have broomstick flying lessons. Coming up to stand. Let's do our flying pose. Ready? Standing nice and strong, take your arms out wide. Lift up one of your legs. Oh, trying not to wobble. And take your foot out back behind you, making yourself into your flying pose. Broomstick flying. Woohoo! And standing nice and tall. Now, Harry is very good at broomstick flying, so good that he gets chosen to be the new seeker on the Quidditch team for Gryffindor. Let's try our flying pose on the other side and see what it's like playing Quidditch. Coming to the other side, arms wide. See if you can balance on your one leg and then take that leg all the way back behind you into your flying pose. Nice and strong. Woohoo! And stepping back. Well done, everyone. Now, one night, Harry, Ron and Hermione are climbing the stairs back to Gryffindor's quarters. Up we go, up we go, up we go. When all of a sudden, the stairs change direction. Ooh. They keep climbing. Up we go, up we go, up we go. And they end up in a part of the school they're really not supposed to be in. They come across a large 3-headed dog! Coming down to your knees. Take your hands down, tuck your toes, press your bottom up to the sky, coming into your dog pose. Now, I did say it was a three-headed dog, so let's lift up one of our legs and waggle it around. Coming up to stand, everyone. Harry, Ron and Hermione, run! Run! And they hide, tucking themselves up into small little hiding balls. Oh, that was one scary guard dog. They sit up. What on earth could it have been guarding, they wonder? Harry wonders whether it had something to do with that parcel Hagrid got out of the vault back at the Gringotts Bank. We'll see. Let's go and ask Hagrid, they think, who lives in the Forbidden Forest. Coming up to stand. The Forbidden Forest is full of menacing-looking trees. Bring one foot on top of the other and your hands together at your heart. Now grow your tree up nice and tall. Ooh, now, I wonder if you can do a really nice, menacing, scary face for me. Very good. Let's try another one on the other side. Bringing your other foot on top now, your hands together at your heart again. Grow up nice and tall. And another nice, scary face. Very good, everyone. They find Hagrid's hut. Jump your feet wide, hands up tall. Where they find him tending to a large golden egg. Sitting on your bottoms. Hug your knees into your chest. Now, see if you can just lift your toes off of the ground and balance like a little cosmic egg. Well done. All of a sudden, the egg hatches. And out pops a baby dragon. Oh, coming up onto one knee, everyone. One knee forward, one knee back. You can keep your toes tucked behind you if it helps. And then crisscross your thumbs, lifting them up and above your head. And let's do a baby lion face. Ready? Very good. Can we swap sides? Taking your knee down and swapping your sides. Ready? Oh, Hagrid's fallen in love with this little baby dragon. He calls him Norbert. Oh, very sweet. Now, Harry asks about this guard dog. What was it doing? What was it guarding? Hagrid says, well, that's just Fluffy. Fluffy's no trouble. He'll go to sleep if you play him music. Oh, we shouldn't have said that. So Hagrid knows something about this guard dog, but he's not ready to tell Harry what he's guarding. At least Harry now knows how to make him fall asleep. It's Christmas, and for the first time in Harry's life, he receives a Christmas present. It's a beautiful cloak, and the note says that it used to belong to his father. Harry tries it on. Coming up high onto your knees, take your arms wide. Now wrap yourself up in that beautiful cloak. Harry notices that when he does this, his whole body disappears. It's an invisibility cloak. Cool, this is a brilliant present and could be very, very useful. It's back to being at school, and Harry, Ron and Hermione are in the library studying some books. Sitting on your bottom, bend your knees and open your knees, making a book shape. They're trying to find out what that stone was, and maybe it's got something to do with Fluffy the guard dog. Hermione, who's very good at studying books, finds something. The Philosopher's Stone. It contains the elixir of life. Elixir of life means that you're immortal and that you'll never die. Harry and Ron do know this, but Harry realises, yes, that must be what is being hidden at the school to protect it from Lord Voldemort, who wants it more than anything so that he can regain his health, take his power back, and finish off Harry once and for all. Harry knows that he must get to it before Lord Voldemort does, and luckily he has his friends, Ron and Hermione, to help him. That night, they take cover beneath the cloak. Standing up, jump your feet wide, arms wide. Start to spin yourself as you cover yourself with that brilliant invisibility cloak. Then the three of them start to tiptoe, quietly, so as not to make a sound while they're invisible, to that room where Fluffy the guard dog is. Coming down to your knees, hands down, tuck your toes, lift your bottom up to the sky. Remember, Fluffy's a three-headed dog, so lift up one of your legs and waggle it around. But Harry knows music will send it to sleep, so he plays a little tune on a flute. Standing up, cross one leg over the other and take your hands to the side and play your little tune on your flute. And let's go the other way. Cross your feet the other way and take your hands to the side and play your flute on the other side. Very nice. Fluffy seems to go to sleep. Coming down to your knees. All the way down with your head. Harry, Ron and Hermione take this opportunity to open up the trapdoor in the floor that Fluffy has been guarding. Standing up, legs wide, crisscross your fingers behind your back and stretch your arms out, folding all the way forwards to open up the trapdoor. Ready? 1, 2, 3, fold! They stand up and they jump down into the trapdoor. Ready? 1, 2, 3, boom, boom. They land on their backs, rolling all the way down, but they've landed in a giant plant, a plant called Devil's Snare. It starts to coil itself around their legs, around their arms. Oh no, it's trapped them. Luckily, Hermione, who pays attention in her herbology classes, knows that the way to release from this plant is to relax. They try it. Sure enough, it works, and they're free. Yes, coming up to stand. They're in the next room, but they're faced with a life-sized game of wizarding chess, where all the pieces come to life. Jump your feet together. There's a bishop, hands at your heart, who's bowing backwards and forwards, singing ooh-boo-bee-doo-boo-dee. There's a knight as well. Take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and clasp your hands forward as we go charge, like a knight. There's also a castle piece. Turning your feet to the front, take your arms out wide, hands above your head, coming into your castle pose. Now, luckily, Ron is rather good at chess, so he takes the lead in this game, and he does really well. He leaves the coast clear for Harry to continue alone. Harry goes through a tunnel. Coming down to your knees, hands down, tuck your toes, lift your bottom to the sky. He walks his feet forwards and he comes up to stand slowly to find himself facing a giant magical mirror. He stands as still as a mountain, looking at his reflection. In this mirror, you see whatever you desire. And all of a sudden, Harry sees the Philosopher's Stone drop into his pocket. It's worked. But at that very same moment, Lord Voldemort comes into the room in disguise as one of Harry's professors. He tries to grab the stone off Harry. Take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, stretch your arms and reach forward like Lord Voldemort. Give it to me! Harry pulls all the way back. No! Voldemort chases Harry all around the room and he reaches again for it. Give it to me! Harry grabs his hand. And as he does, the hand begins to burn and disintegrate into dust. Harry takes hold of Voldemort's head, and all of a sudden Voldemort's head starts to disintegrate into dust until his whole body turns into one big pile of rubble. Harry's natural magic has done it again. He's defeated Lord Voldemort, and he has the Philosopher's Stone in his care. But he is exhausted, and he takes himself to the hospital wing, where a lovely cosy bed is waiting for him. Sitting on your bottoms, feet flat, knees bent, hands pointing towards your bottom, and lift yourself up into your bed shape. Harry sinks down into the bed. He stretches his legs forwards, and he folds all the way forwards to take hold of the blankets. He brings them up over his body as he gets himself lying down and comfy in this beautiful, comfortable bed. He takes rest. And just like Harry, we also take rest to regain our strength. That amazing special magic that Harry has, we all have it. It's called love. And that love is the most powerful thing of all. It will defeat and overcome all darkness. And it lives in each of every one of us. And while we channel and share that love, the world, whether it's a magical one or not, will become a more beautiful place, full of wonder and light and warmth. So we breathe into that love now that sits in our body and our hearts. Deep breathing to let it spread all around. It makes us feel so peaceful. So with that love and with that peace, we slowly bring ourselves back, wiggling our toes and our fingers, bringing our knees up to our chest and giving them a hug. We roll over onto our side and we slowly come up to sit back to where we started, with our hands together at our hearts. And we finish just the way we started, with our secret yoga code word, which is Namaste. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Well done, everyone. Thanks for coming on the Harry Potter yoga adventure with me. That was great fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you soon for another Cosmic Kids adventure. Bye-bye. Everyone, welcome to Cosmic Kids. I'm Jamie and this is your place for yoga, stories and fun. It's easy. All you do is copy the moves I do and enjoy the adventure. Now we always start in the same way, and that's by sitting on our bottoms, crossing our legs and bringing our hands together at our hearts and saying our secret yoga code word, which is Namaste. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. There. Now we're ready to begin. And today we've got a special story based on the Twits by Roald Dahl. Now, Mr. and Mrs. Twit were horrid and smelly. Mr. Twit has got a big hairy face. So let's start by rubbing our face and our jaw, giving it a nice massage. That's it. What a big hairy face he's got. He's also got hair growing out of his ears. Let's give our ears a bit of a rub as well. Oh, Mr. Twit. Now, Mr. Twit always gets food stuck in his beard, so he has to blow it out. Crisscross your fingers, put them under your chin, take a big breath all the way in as you lift up your elbows. And then blow your food out to the sky. Breathing in, lifting your elbows, and breathing out to the sky. Now, Mrs. Twit looks a little bit like a witch, coming into witch pose, standing all the way up.
Make your fingers all craggy and your face all funny and craggy and witchy, and your foot too. And Mrs. Twit hates children. She likes to poke them with her walking stick.
Take your feet nice and wide and turn your toe out to the side. Stretch your arms and reach to the side. Then fold yourself all the way down and go poke, poke, poke. Then come all the way back up again. Turn your foot to the middle and turn your other foot to the side. Stretch over, folding down and go poke, poke, poke. Oh, horrid old Mrs. Twit. Coming up to stand. Now the Twits live in a horrid house, joining your hands together up above your head. And you can't even open the windows. They're glued down. Folding all the way forwards. See if you can take hold of the window and open it. Nope. Nope. Coming all the way up. It's no good. And the garden was completely bare, all apart from a very, very dead tree at the bottom, coming into tree pose. Bringing your feet together, then use your heel to balance and bring your hands together at your heart. Grow your tree up nice and tall. And remember, it's a dead tree, so let's make our tree look a bit dead. Very good, everyone. Let's do our tree pose on the other side. Bringing your other foot on top now and your hands together. Grow your tree up nice and tall. Now, I wonder if I can blow these dead trees down. You stay tall and strong. I'll have a go. Here I come. Doopy-doopy-dee-doo. I can't. You're just too dead. Now, also at the bottom of the garden is a cage. Sitting on your bottoms, cross your legs and bring your hands to hold your elbows. Now, lift up your elbows above your head to look through the cage window. Living in the cage were a family of monkeys, the Mugglewumps. There was Mr. Mugglewump, who was the daddy monkey. Coming up onto your tippy toes. After 3, let's do a big monkey jump in the air for Mr. Mugglewump. 1, 2, 3. There was Mrs. Mugglewump. Let's do a monkey jump for her. 1, 2, 3. There was Mugglewump Jr. Let's do a monkey jump for him. 1, 2, 3. And there was little Miss Mugglewump. Let's do a monkey jump for her. 1, 2, 3. Very good, everyone. Now, the Mugglewumps really didn't like the Twits because Mr. Twit liked to capture birds. Coming into Tweety Bird pose, on your knees, arms wide, wrap your arms around and go tweet, 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 tweet. He liked to paint the trees with glue so that they would get stuck. Coming up to stand. Now turn to the side and lift up one of your legs, trying not to wobble. See if you can focus on a spot in front of you. And then send your leg out back behind you, coming into your bird pose. But you're a bit stuck because you're on the tree branch with the glue. Oh dear. Coming back to stand. Now Mr. Twit liked to put the birds in a pie. And that's why the Mugglewumps didn't like them very much. One day, there was an almighty thunderstorm, a rainstorm. Pitter-patter your fingers all over your face and your head, all over your tummy and your legs, making it go all the way back up again and the sides. And then on your arms. There was some lightning in the sky. Jump your feet wide, arms wide, and spin the lightning. Goodness me. And there were big claps of thunder in the sky. Arms wide and clap your hands. And again, clap your hands. Now, all this thunderstorm blew away the cobwebs in the garden. Bring your hands to your mouth and blow. And all of a sudden, landing on the Mugglewump's cage is a roly-poly bird, coming into eagle pose. Standing with your feet together, cross one leg over the other and bend your knees. Take your arms wide, scissor your arms and wave with your underneath arm. Twizzle them round and sit yourself down.
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm the roly-poly bird. I've come all the way from Africa.
Let's change our feet the other way now. Coming up, unravel yourself and take the other foot across, bending your knees. Scissor your arms, wave with your underneath arm and twizzle them round. Very good, everyone.
I've come to set you free, Mugglewumps.
Standing up nice and tall, Mr. Mugglewump warns him. Be careful, that Mr. Twit, he likes to put birds like you in pies. Sitting on your bottoms, take your legs out wide. He takes those birds and he stirs them in his pot. Take hold of one of your feet and stir it, stir it, stir it. And the other one, take hold of your other one and stir it, stir it, stir it. Then he takes his bird pie and he gobbles it all up.
Oh, well, the roly-poly bird says, we'll see about that. I'm now going to set you free.
And he unlocks the cage door. Coming up to 2 knees. Take your leg to the side, your arm to the sky, and unlock the door. Coming up to stand, everyone. The Mugglewumps are free. They have an idea, and they tiptoe very quietly into the shed where Mr. Twit keeps his glue. They go into the shed, they stand very tall and still, then they fold all the way forwards to pick up the pots of glue. Picking them up, they collect them, and then they run on their tiptoes back into the cage where they hide like little mice with the glue, tucking yourself down into mouse pose all the way forwards. And they whistle, pretending that nothing's happening. The roly-poly bird hides in the tree next door, whistling. They wait until the twits go out. Then, coming up onto your tippy toes, the Mugglewumps jump into action. 1, 2, 3, woo-ah! They go into the Twits' house and they begin painting the ceiling with the glue. They use woodchopper pose. Coming up to stand, turn to the side, your feet wide, crisscross your fingers behind your back and fold forward, painting the ceiling with the glue. Ready? Painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling with glue, glue, glue. They come up to stand and they use giraffe pose to paint the ceiling. Put 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. Reach your arms up and paint the ceiling. Painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling with glue, glue, glue. The roly-poly bird puts the paintbrush in his mouth and he paints the ceiling too, flying. Coming to stand with your feet together, folding forwards and fly.
Painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling with glue, glue, glue.
And when they get tired painting the ceiling with their arms, they paint with their feet and their legs. Coming into dog pose, on your hands and knees, tuck your toes and lift your bottom up to the sky. Then reach one leg up and paint the ceiling with your foot, rolling your ankle around. Painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling with glue, glue, glue. And the other one, putting that foot down, lifting the other side. Painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling, painting the ceiling with glue, glue, glue. Coming to sit on your bottoms, everyone. Now, the ceiling was covered in glue. So they decided to stick some stuff to it. They stuck the table to the ceiling. Coming into table pose, turning to the side, feet flat, knees bent, hands behind you, and lift your bottom up to the sky into your table pose. Very good. They then stuck the chairs to the ceiling. Coming into chair pose, up we come to stand. Now bend your knees and reach your arms up. Coming into chair pose. Very good, everybody. They stuck the washing machine onto the ceiling. Let's do washing machine pose. Sitting on our bottoms, crossing our legs. Crisscross your fingers, put them behind your head, and let's do a wisher washer. Here we go. Wisher washer, wisher washer, wisher washer, woo! They even stuck the tumble dryer to the ceiling. Bring your fingers in front of your mouth and blow them round and round.
and the books to the ceiling, joining your knees together and open up your book. Ooh. Now, let's have a look at the house while it's all upside down and see what that looks like. Coming up to stand, turning around to face the back and jump your feet wide. Now, fold yourself all the way forwards, maybe holding your ankles a little bit, and have a look upside down. Can you see me? Yay! Give me a wave. Woohoo! It looks really funny upside down, doesn't it? Coming all the way up to stand, turning around again. The Mugglewumps and the roly-poly bird hide like mice back in the cage in the garden, tucking yourself up into a little mouse ball. And they wait for the Twits to return. When they do, they come clomping into the house. Coming up to stand, take your feet wide, fold yourself forward and clomp like a twit. Clomp, 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 clomp. They come into their house and they stand up and they see that it's all upside down and they get really angry. So they beat their chests like gorillas. Who did this to our house? They go into the garden and grab their bicycles to go and find the person that did this. Coming into bicycle pose, lying on your back, lifting up your legs, crisscross your fingers and put them behind your head. Now pedal your feet like you're pedaling a bicycle. We're gonna get you! The Mugglewumps are delighted and they sit up feeling really naughty and cheeky but very happy. They stretch their legs out long, they bend one knee and they put it to the other side. They give that knee a big hug as they twist to the side and they say thank you to the roly-poly bird. Thank you ever so much. Then they twist to the other side as the roly-poly bird flies away. Take your leg long, lift up the other one and put it on the other side. Give it a nice big hug, twist to the side. Bye-bye, roly-poly bird, thanks for everything. Then the Mugglewumps jump to the big forest nearby, coming into your monkey jump pose. After 3, big jump. 1, 2, 3. Where they make a new home for themselves. They lie back on the branches of a beautiful big oak tree and have a relax. We all lie down, our legs long, our arms long. Happy to rest after this wonderful, funny adventure with the Twits and the Mugglewumps and the roly-poly bird. Oh, it teaches us that when people are bad, bad things might happen to them. But when people are good, good things happen to them. So let's all be good. Let's be kind. Let's be nice to others. Let's be giving and grateful. And let's help our friends, our neighbours. Good things happen to good people. We enjoy this time to relax, feeling happy that we're calm and peaceful here, until it's time to wake up. We wiggle our fingers and our toes. We bring our knees into our chest and give them a big hug. We roll over onto our side and we come up to sit with our legs crossed and our hands together at our hearts, just like we started. And we finish with our secret yoga code word, which is namaste. Ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Namaste. Well done, everyone. Thanks for doing Roald Dahl's Twits with me. You were amazing. I hope you come back soon for another Cosmic Kids adventure. Bye-bye.